Hello everyone. I want to make a video here on some astrological current alignments happening right now. In particularly, we just had the Sun enter Aries, which marks the spring equinox and the true new solar year, the true new year. And Mercury has also gone direct in Pisces on the same day, which was yesterday. And I also touch base on some things through the end of this month, through the end of March. So I'm going to pull up a few charts for you, and we'll start with the Sun has entered Aries, marking this new solar year. And which is very exciting. This brings us, where new beginnings and new life begins to emerge. Things begin to sprout and blossom when the Sun enters Aries. This is coming off fresh off the Pisces new moon that we had on Wednesday evening at 28 degrees of Pisces, towards the very ending degrees of the zodiac. And now we're beginning from the solar perspective, we're beginning a new year. And from the lunar calendar, we're merging the Pisces new moon, which brings endings and cycles and loops karmically to close, and to bring old patterns to bring old patterns with closure and transparency. And the Aries Sun, which it also exalts, is bringing a lot of fiery, fresh passions and inspiration and revitalization and motivation to us now. And what's happening with the new moon in Pisces, still fresh, and this brand new solar cycle of the Sun in Aries, is that, well, we're still unraveling a lot of the our old life, our old ways of doing things, our patterns. We're still shedding off the weariness and the tiredness. But now that the Sun is now in Aries, the beginnings, the fresh starts, the new seeds to be sown, they're all happening now at a much rapid manifesting rate. It's momentum of the beginning is picking up as it's unraveling the old. And right before, when we had this Pisces new moon, while Mercury was still retrograde, we had a lot of the resurfacing of old patterns come up, so that they can really be shown for what they are as we enter into this new beginning, to really unravel and dissolve all of that away, our old life and our old patterns and the tiredness and the weariness that we have undergone. And we really have undergone it through the last 20-25 years, because there's been so many heavy hitting energies of long-term development through Pisces, like Saturn and Neptune more recently, but we've also had Uranus and Chiron there throughout the years. And now we're coming out of all the personalization of planets through the Piscean waters, being baptized in that, and move into the baptism of fire of Aries, when we have this huge pile up next month, and we'll be fully immersed in the baptism of fire in Aries. And what this spring equinox is bringing us, because what happened yesterday is not just happening for the day or the month, it's also carrying over through the year, till the next spring equinox. It will be a presence overlapping with the partial eclipse we had in Aquarius, marking the lunar calendar, the Chinese New Year, the year of the fire horse. This is also a pivotal point where it overlaps our yearly energy with that lunar calendar year from the tropical zodiac, from the solar standpoint. And being that this was at 0 Aries, and the endings of the Pisces new moon happening at once, we're now just, the loop is now where the beginning and the end meeted. It has just broke off, and the loop will tend to fade one direction, and the other side of the loop will fade, or will flow in the other direction, basically, as this meaning that the old will dissolve. And with Mercury going direct now, in Pisces, we're experiencing a universal thumbs up to go ahead with our plans and our thoughts. And it's so poetic the way that Mercury is now going direct the same day, that the sun is moved into Aries, because retrogrades represent past things, and the new moon, like I said, was happening about endings, Pisces governing cycles coming to a close. This was a big reset, a big solar rush of energy that is very major, and then having Mercury going direct just propels it forward to get that thumbs up button, to move away from the past at a faster rate, to unravel the Piscean weariness and tiredness that we have all been experiencing. And it's also exactly conjunct to the North Node, so it's being initiated into destiny and development, evolution, and healthy patterns throughout our life into the future. And so it's very much a springboard, and not to mention that every planet is direct, so it's just full force ahead, the Aries charging. And what I see with this year from the solar standpoint is that we're very much going to be taking two steps ahead. We're going to be making giant leaps with 2 steps ahead and then 1 step back. And this is due to Saturn and Neptune conjunction. Mainly the Saturn influence will be doing that, because it is within conjunction to still the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. And Saturn will be kind of putting the brakes on to kind of, tame the impulsiveness of Aries. It's a great time to be bold and act, but we can't exactly do impulsion. Saturn will make these giant strides forward, these giant leaps, 2 steps forward and then 1 step back. And that's how this year is going to go with the Saturn influence. And we're going to get a major surge in breaking out of this matrix of the Saturn-Neptune. Because Saturn, Saturn and Neptune don't let each other get away with their shit, like I've said before. Saturn doesn't let Neptune get away with being in fantasy land and being deceptive, and Neptune doesn't let Saturn get away with being controlling and keeping things structured at its level. So Neptune dissolves the structures and boundaries of Saturn, while Saturn solidifies and gives definite shape to Neptune's transcending spirituality. So they basically, we can't, sure, things will be still feeling a little foggy and distorted the way reality is, but in the end, it just, they don't really allow each other to get away with whatever the other one is doing in a negative way. So we're going to abolish the system. We're going to break out of this matrix with this 0 point in Aries, still within conjunction to the Saturn Neptune, in which Saturn, the sun will conjunct Neptune on the 22nd, which is tomorrow, right here. And it will conjunct Saturn on the 25th, exactly. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a year that we will feel this energy where we're going to make these leaps forward, but we're also going to have to put on the brakes and retract a little bit. And as we're getting the initiation of the forward movement of our thoughts and plans and our communication, with the North Node, things are really speeding up to unravel the old of the Piscean cycles and karmic loops, and we are transcending into a new timeline as it pertains to Mercury. And another thing that is within close enough aspect to this 0 point of Aries at the equinox here is that it is in sextile to Pluto in Aquarius, and that will give humanity on a collective level a lot of opportunity to purify and grow together. Have the lines of communication open, that we're all going to be telepathically able to connect with at a level as through individual progress. At once, we're going to be in a network with this new starting point, and we're going to have an opportunity to grow and purify together as humanity with Pluto and Aquarius to authenticate our collective unit. But we have to be paying attention, and it won't be without growing pains either. So, and I believe it was the 28th that the sun, was it the 28th? No, the 25th, actually, the sun will be exactly conjunct Pluto. And that's really where we're going to have that big opportunity to, create this kind of like this, surge of through like the law of attraction of building this mastermind of energy to authenticate an opportunity for humanity to grow, to purify, to come together. That will be happening strongly on the 25th, but we are going to feel it through the year because of the equinox is within the sextile. It's close enough in sextile. And so going back here, these are the major aspects we're going to experience is the sun with Saturn and Neptune, and it will move closer within the next few days before the month ends. And this Mercury direct with the North Node is also really unraveling the end, and we're beginning to break out of the matrix, and we're going to leap forward, and we're going to have to retract a little. But the thing is, 2 steps forward, 1 step back is still a step forward, and we're making good and major progress. And humanity will unite more this year. We will come together more. Things where I believe that this year is going to give us the next big surge of awakening on a collective level that we've seen since COVID. I really do. and it's going to be quite exciting. So let's look at some more things going on. So like I said, we had so the 22nd, which is tomorrow, the sun will conjunct Neptune. So we could be a little dreamy, but let's tap into our creative inspiration. Tomorrow is a good time to really anything artistic and spiritual, or time to meditate would be great for tomorrow, especially. And then the sun and Saturn on the 25th. The 25th is an interesting day because the sun and Saturn are conjuncting in Aries, and then the moon will be square in Cancer to the Sun Saturn conjunction. And Cancer governs our homeland, and Aries is Mars, god of war. So I don't know if there's going to be a major turning point in the war. I don't want to say an attack on that day, hopefully, but that's a possibility. Even on the 24th, when the moon squares Mars, there could be something. But there could be definitely something going on the 25th regarding the war that's happening. And so and then here's another big one, is the Saturn will be sextiling Pluto towards the end of the month on the 28th, and that is going to give us major opportunity to purify ourselves through hardship and obstacles, through this new beginning at a collective level, as Pluto in Aquarius is very much on the collective level, and the Aries Saturn is our personal progress to make towards this new beginning, to character build ourselves. So where we have Saturn 5 degrees Aries, and then we have Pluto at 5 degrees Aquarius, this is opening the lines of communication to really purify our karma. We are going to have plenty of opportunity to reboot and get a better idea of how to purify and authenticate our responsibilities and how to be disciplined. And when these two energies show, it's very much just like no ifs, ands, or buts when Saturn and Pluto come together. With sextile, it does make it a little more harmonious, absolutely. But we're going to have to get on our ass a little bit about how we're going to authenticate our karmic responsibilities and our discipline. And we're going to have to do so through seizing an opportunity, because sextiles do that. So we have to pay attention to that. Let's see, we're going back here. Did I cover everything through the end of March? You got this, Saturn, Pluto sextile. So, I would just say for now, let's just enjoy this new, fresh reset, this revitalization of the spring equinox in Aries, the sun in Aries, with boldness and independence and motivation, with pioneering instinct. Let's enjoy it for now, as many exciting things are happening. They won't come without growing pains as time goes on, as we embark on these new journeys and beginnings. But we are shedding the old pattern, shedding the old life, and we're doing so at a rapid speed as things unravel away from the old, and we are beginning to find who we are, what we are here for, and what we are supposed to be doing with ourselves, and planting a firm identity. And that's really the only thing you want to be firm with, is our identity, knowing who we are, and keeping a fixed view more, or not to keep too much of a fixed view of things, as Saturn and Neptune still conjunct, because we don't want to, the structures that we form in our mind are always going to be optical illusions right now. We're, creating our own life at a rapid pace. So let's enjoy what we have at our disposal right now, and happy solar new year, true new year. So I guess I'll leave it there, and for all of you, just don't take care, but give care too. And until next time, I'll see ya.